what's happening through mining in Adivasi areas, whether it is bauxite, iron ore, mica, coal, it's complete devastation.
पाल रहा है सारे जग को, खुद भूखा सो जाए रे। न्याय तेरा कुछ काम नहीं, अन्याय बढ़ता जाए रे। न्याय तेरा कुछ काम नहीं।
हेलो फ्रेंड्स, सबको संघर्षी सलाम और लाल सलाम। My name is Rajal, and I have been friends with some of the Adivasi resistance movements in Orissa particularly, and also I'm traveling, also extending solidarities to movements in Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand primarily, largely Adivasi movements, in terms of documenting resistances, in terms of documenting the violations that are happening in forest areas, in terms of the mass land grab and forceful industrialization and extraction that is happening over Adivasi lands. I was a victim of the engineering discipline and turned out to be a bad engineer as well. Largely my purpose of journeying, so to say, along with Adivasi communities began when I started understanding that the politics that Adivasi communities put forward in this world is the only way in which you can achieve social justice. So I have always come to believe, after speaking to many Adivasi leaders, that indigenous justice is the only path forward which leads to social justice. That if the government can take the idea of Ram Mandir very seriously, if it can take the idea of Puri Jagannath very seriously, why can't it take the idea of Niyam Raja very seriously? There lies the complicity of the mainstream. There lies the violence. Modi government has put the entire forest lands, agricultural lands on sale. One of the most affected communities because of this is going to be the Adivasi communities. And through a very systematic process, the movements in these areas are being dismantled, more aggressive than ever. Whether it is Odisha, whether it is Jharkhand, whether it is Chhattisgarh, the leaders in these areas, the elders in these areas have put up their fight, their resistance since the last many years. But today we are seeing a very different situation. The unleash of the violence on these people. False cases slapped against them as Maoists, as anti-nationals, as people plotting to kill the Prime Minister. And one more, which is one of the most important points which needs to be discussed if we are to counter move against this, and that is education. Many resistance movements today are facing this trouble where the young children in the communities are being taken away to faraway residential schools, and deliberately they are being kept away from the socio-political struggles of the community. The youth in these movements are being given cell phones, bikes, mobile recharges are being made by the company goons. The company is offering them all of these free doles and thinking that it can win over the community in the next 10 years. I want to end this with a small two-line poetry written by my good friend Jacinta Cricketa, who is a Kuduk poet. It's called इंतजार। वे हमारे सभ्य होने के इंतजार में हैं और हम उनके मनुष्य होने